Okay, today I'm going to start a small series of videos that talk about diet principles that I use and that can be beneficial. I talked about in one of the nutrition group videos that I put together, and in it I actually just went through all of them kind of quickly. I'm going to try to go a little more in depth, but still keep it in a short video format and talk about each one in a series. I say diet principles, they're ways that I utilize different diet programs or different belief systems to utilize principles in order to put together strategies for someone to be successful. I use a lot of different things. I suggest a lot of different things for people because everyone kind of is an expert on their own when it comes to the food they enjoy and what they prefer. So since everyone has their own preferences and they're their own diet expert as far as what they love and the foods that they enjoy, then you need to be able to structure whatever diet plan in order to lose weight around that. So you need to be able to find the principles that would fit their lifestyle. Otherwise, you're not going to have success. So all of these are what I think long-term solutions. Now, I'll talk about some things like the Atkins diet. I'll talk about some different things that relate. And some of these seem like quick fix solutions to certain people. And maybe they are for that individual. But that's not the way they're intended to be. I look at them all as diet principles that you can put into place. Some you might use short-term, some you might use long-term. So all of these, although they're designed for long-term, I don't think they're suitable for everyone long-term. So finding the one that's perfect for you to put into your lifestyle, to make a lifestyle change, is the best way to do it. And that's why I'm going to talk about each one and try to give you some input so you can choose the right program and the correct principles to put into place to make your diet and your nutrition better. The first one I'm going to talk about is something called If It Fits Your Macros, and they abbreviate IIFYM, and some people call it flexible dieting. But pretty much what it is utilizing your macronutrients in order to make sure that your diet and nutrition is in place. And the reason I wanted to talk about it first is I kind of think it is the simplest. Now, it's not the easiest, but I do think it's the simplest to implement, because with it, you can still eat pretty much any foods that you enjoy. You don't really have to change what you eat. You just have to change how much. You would look at your macronutrients. You would make sure that you have the correct protein, carbs, and fats, and that you have the correct calories. So you would have to utilize some math in order to figure that out, which is why I say that it's simple but not easy. The book actually talks about someone who eats, I think it's Twinkies or cupcakes, some type of food pretty regularly as his diet, and still manages to lose weight and get a ripped physique. And the reason he does that is because he's below his caloric deficit. So it reinforces the fact that if you have your macronutrients in line, it doesn't really matter what you eat. And I don't suggest this to people who are worried about performance or who are worried about adding muscle, different things like that. But it's something good for people who are just trying to reduce calories. And it's something that's really good for someone who's a beginner in order to get into changing their diet and making alterations, because you can still eat what you want. You're just worried about your macronutrients, and it leaves your diet pretty flexible. So that's the way that the principle works, is just trying to identify what your macronutrients are and make sure that you're in line with those no matter what it is. So you can eat pizza, you can eat hot dogs, you can eat whatever you want, as long as it doesn't put you over your calories or over your macronutrients.